Okay, there we go. First of all, as far as the Sam's Club tour, this is your third year with that or something?
Third year.
Third year with it, okay. I know a little bit about competition barbecue. I've hung out and done them, but I've never been to one of the Sam's Club events.
Right.
How does that differ from your normal KCBS event?
So this is the only tournament in the country.
True.
When we started this 3 years ago, we knew when we announced this tournament, it was going to, cause a lot of excitement, and it did. For instance, our registration process, we announced registration over the winter to be a certain day at a certain time.
Right.
We signed up 500 teams in less than 15 minutes this year.
Okay.
For a total for 750 spots.
Yeah, I noticed the spots of most contests were closed like that.
They were full just within minutes.
And do you limit it to 30 per?
30 teams for every qualifying event, and then there's 30 teams at every regional event, and there are 5 of those.
Right.
And then we have 50 teams at the national championship.
Okay. As far as the rules and the process and all that, it's the same
It's
as the
all
KCBS.
the same, down to the number of porta-johns I have each weekend.
Okay, and that's all very important stuff sometimes.
It is.
Let's see here. As far as the tour this year, it's your third year.
Yep.
What's new on the tour this year? Anything new as far as locations or anything?
We've got
like
a lot
that?
of new locations, and every year we try to add some new cities. For instance, we're going to Asheville, North Carolina this year, Lexington, Kentucky, Richmond, Virginia. We went to Seattle for the first time.
Okay.
And so that was really exciting for those teams up there because they don't have a lot of contests, but there's a lot of barbecue competitors in that area.
Right.
And we always try to do something new and different and reach new people.
Yeah. Speaking of new people, spectators, they always come to contest. I think a lot of them think it's a barbecue festival, and we're going to get to eat a lot of barbecue.
Right.
For the uninitiated, what should they expect if they come to the Sam's Tour to see an event?
So here we've got a public area that we call the Sam's Club Fan Zone. I'm doing cooking demonstrations. I'm also sampling out foods such as pulled pork. Sometimes I'll sample out brisket, pork tenderloins. Casey Masterpiece is here doing a chicken with a spicy pickle slider. American Grill Master is here, although he's not here this weekend. But he is normally here doing 5 different steak recipes. And so we've got a lot going on for the public, and we encourage the public to come in and interact with the teams. Maybe they can catch some good grilling and smoking tips from them.
Yeah, do a little shigging, right?
Yeah.
I told someone last week, I said, hey, it's not shigging unless I use it.
That's right, that's right.
Okay, obviously we got the big 4 categories, chicken, pork, ribs, but any kind of ancillary contest or anything like that, contest within the contest, or is it just the 4?
It's just the 4 main categories. Last year we had the Tyson Best Wing on the Planet category, which is a sponsored category from Tyson.
Right.
And this year we've just got the 4 main categories.
Okay.
One of the things I see each weekend that's a little bit different than a regular KCBS contest is that when teams come to they have more of a game face on. Because it's just not one contest they're thinking about. They're thinking about that regional, thinking about that $150,000 we're giving away at the national championship.
Yeah, that's a big prize, definitely. Let's see here. One thing I know, since you mentioned you got the tournament, you have the regions.
Right.
Do you see any difference between the regions as far as either level of competition, styles, or anything like that? Or are they all pretty high level? And
as a competitor, I don't know where I would begin to strategize on a better region because the level of competition, just rises to the tops.
Right.
So the 30 teams that you have at a regional have all won their way there. I don't see a lot of differences in flavor profiles from one to the other. This on the KCBS circuit.
It's pretty much the homogenous.
It is. It's sort of melded into this what I call a competition style barbecue.
Yes, exactly.
It's nothing you get at a restaurant. It's nothing you get in anybody's backyard.
Candy sweet.
Yeah, you just get it at a competition.
Yeah.
And it's so rich you can't eat a lot of it.
And I guess typically if somebody is risky and says, hey, I'm going to do a vinegar sauce on my pork, I've seen people do wings as a turn-in, and it's like...
I would urge against that.
Yeah, you really want to do that? Let's see. As far as the regions, is that truly regional, or can anybody participate in any region?
Anybody can participate. And I have teams that have strategized somewhat. I have a team from Iowa that for some reason or another, does great in Arizona. So he chooses to compete in that region out west. Yeah. But nothing geographically prevents a team from competing in one region or the other.
And all the judges are KCBS local judges, pretty much, right?
You know, we have judges that are coming great distances at every single one of these.
Okay.
And so they're not just local, they're flying in to judge these events.
Okay. As far as you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you left Southern Living to get on and be full-time
Right.
barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the last 3 years, that's had to take a little bit of a back seat with you doing the tour and
Right.
all your obligations with that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you still able to get into any competitions? And if so, which ones are you trying to do this
You
year?
know, I'm tied up with events about 36 to 40 weekends a year.
Okay.
I start the Sam's Club Series in the middle of February. And the last event I do during the year is I host the World Food Championships in Las Vegas in the middle of November.
Right.
By that time, I'm done.
I didn't realize you hosted that.
Yeah.
I heard a lot about that through Clint,
Yeah.
and a lot of my friends that are in that said what a great
Yeah.
overall event that was.
I
Knoxville
am ready
barbecue.
for a cocktail on a beach somewhere.
I can imagine. Okay, as far as the book, you know, it's what came out this month.
Came out this month
Okay.
in April, middle of April.
Yeah. It's obviously the Big Book of Barbecue 2 years ago was
Right.
a huge success.
Yes.
I think everybody got that one. With that success, was that a blessing or a curse for this book? Is it that's all that much more pressure to repeat, or is it more, hey, you had the freedom now, you proved them you can do it, and now you can do whatever?
You know, it was a lot of pressure for me because I went through most of my original recipes with that first book. So the recipes that are all fired up, the new book, are new recipes that I've developed. But yeah, that was a lot of pressure to follow up the success of that. And so far, books have been flying off the shelves. We're seeing a forecast of even better sales of this book than the last.
Really? Okay.
Now, one of the things we've done to differentiate this book to the other one is that I've included a lot more technique and how-to, and not just recipes.
Yeah.
So, you know, throughout the book, there's tips and techniques on how to do it and what has made me successful in grilling and barbecuing.
Yeah. Speaking of techniques, I noticed on all your rib recipes you don't use foil. Are you totally opposed to it, or is that just easier to teach people, or is it just a personal preference?
It's a personal preference. I used to use foil in competition, and if I was competing today, I probably still would.
Yeah.
But that's not how I like to eat my ribs.
Right.
Foil to me takes away from the bark on the outside, and I like a more crispy and crunchier bark on my barbecued meats, and so I don't use foil in my backyard.
Okay. As far as the book, you had a lot of tips from other pit masters other than yourself. You brought people in and gave their points of view or special tips.
Right.
How did you pick who you were going to use for that? Was it just moments of opportunity? Or
it was mostly opportunity. You know, with my travels over the last several years, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of very successful people in this world. And that and some of those have had some relationship with Southern Living, with stories, the magazine has done on them. So it was just a lot of opportunity out there to get a lot of people involved in it.
I thought that was a good part of the book, and people have this mystique of the tight-lipped pitmaster. I have found barbecue people to be some of the most sharing because you still got to beat them. They can give you the exact recipe. You still have to beat them at doing it. So.
Well, I still teach competition barbecue classes, and I don't mind sharing everything I know about competition. What I have found is you can show all your cards, and there's people out there that still think they've got a better way of doing it.
Right.
But most people in this world are going to share anything you want to know.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Okay, the book. It's I think it's a real good balance between grilling and barbecue.
Sure.
I mean, it's you've got the traditional low and slow barbecue in there. You've got a lot of great grilling that you can go out there in 30 minutes and bang it out on your grill.
Right.
Did you start off with that kind of ratio in mind, or is that just the way you cook? Or?
It was a strategic plan.
Okay.
One of my core messages as I travel the country teaching people is teaching them the difference between grilling and barbecuing.
Okay.
And so I wanted a good balance there of both in the book.
Okay. As far as your classes and things that are coming up for you, where can people find out more about that?
Go to cheftroyblack.com I've got a new blog that I'm starting next month called At the Table with Troy.
Okay.
I'm going to be blogging about what I have for dinner every single night.
That's tough, I can tell you, as a food blogger.
So whether that's at a fine dining restaurant, a local joint somewhere I come across, or whether that's a pizza that I order from my couch.
Will that be linked from your existing website?
It will. It'll be, absolutely.
What's coming up on the tour?
We are heading into Atlanta this weekend. Then we move on to Charleston, Asheville, and Lexington. I'm going to be appearing on Fox and Friends a week from Sunday.
Okay.
On their morning show there.
All right. And then the big, the Arkansas final event
It's
is
the middle of October.
middle of October. Okay.
Yep.
And they can find all dates on the website for KCBS or at sams.com.
That's right. They go to samsclub.com/BBQ.
Okay. And let's see, the book, where can people find it?
They can go to cheftroyblack.com.
Okay.
Find me on Facebook is the easiest way.
Okay.
And that's facebook.com/cheftroyblack. I've got a link to a special price on Amazon.
Very good.
There.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate your time.
Oh, no. Thank you.